Welcome to Recap Roundup, where we take a look at the coolest recaps of the past couple of days. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 5 recaps worth watching. So the first recap I want to take a look at is a 2020 film called Songbird. And this film is actually pretty cool because it's a dystopian movie about a pandemic where people are locked into their homes if they're at risk or if they tested positive for the pandemic. And of course, this is a very timely movie. It was actually made in 2020 before our real world pandemic really unfolded. So this is really worth watching this recap to see how the world could have been if the government took more extreme measures, during the pandemic. But the cool thing is it kind of shows the story from a bunch of different perspectives, from the perspective of a wealthy family that can afford all the luxuries while other people are suffering. It also tells the story from someone who's autoimmune compromised and they're forced to live in their house. It really gets into a lot of the dynamics of how the world would function under like an authoritarian situation. So go ahead and check it out. Again, the movie is the 2020 film Songbird, and it's from Mystery Recap. The link is in the description below. The next film I wanted to show you is the 2017 film Security that comes from the movie Recap. So Security is basically like an action thriller movie, and it's about a man who's an ex-Marine, did 3 tours overseas, and he's looking for a job, and he can't really find a good job because he has mental health problems. But he finally finds one after a job placement person finds an assignment for him, and this assignment happens to put him in a situation where he can be a hero. But the big twist to it is that he has to deal with 4 mall cops as his employees in order to stop this kidnapping terrorist situation from unfolding. So it's a pretty cool story. There's a lot of action. I think you'll really like the recap because the story doesn't just get into the action. You get into a little bit of character development, and you get to see how the story unfolds. So if you do like action movies with some character development, I think you'll really love Security. Again, it's from the movie Recap, and the link is in the description below. The next film is from Explained Movie Recap, and it's a 2012 film called Chronicle. Now, if you're into superhero movies, but you feel like a lot of superhero movies don't have a lot of character development, you're going to really like this recap. So Chronicle is basically like a found footage film, and it's about these high schoolers who suddenly get superpowers. But the great thing is it doesn't just get into the superheroes battling each other and all that. You get to see how the characters develop. Obviously, in the story, a couple of the characters are outcasts, so the fact that they get these superpowers gives them this feeling of self-worth that they never had before. But you also see how some people can use the superpowers for good and how they can be used for evil. And you get to wonder as you watch this movie, it's like, how would you react if you suddenly received superpowers? So the good thing about this movie is that it's just not about one person gets superpowers. It's about a group of high school kids, so you can see how the story unfolds from several different perspectives. So go ahead and check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description below. Again, the movie is a 2012 film called Chronicles from Explain the Movie Recap. For our horror movie fans, the next film up is the 2019 remake of Child's Play, and this comes from Quick Films. Now, Child's Play, if you know the original movie, it's about an evil puppet named Chucky that's actually a crazed killer. Now, the twist with the 2019 version is that Chucky is this sophisticated AI kind of robot that's sold as a toy. But the twist here is that during the production process, which the doll is processed in Vietnam, one of the workers is treated poorly, so as revenge he removes the safety protocols from the doll, so the doll is now becomes dangerous and becomes a killer. So it's basically like the original movie, but with this kind of AI updated twist. Now, if you're into horror films that also has a sense of humor, you're really going to like this recap. Really interesting. I haven't seen this. I've seen the original, but I haven't seen the remake. But now that I saw the recap, I definitely want to check out the remake. So definitely check it out. I have the link in the description below. Finally, we have a thriller from Film Recaps called In Their Skin. And in this 2017 film, we see this couple with a small kid go for a retreat out in the woods. And the couple is trying to recover from the death of their daughter. So there's a lot of kind of character development and a lot of tension that starts early on. And then that tension really builds when you find out there's some neighbors next door who at first seem really, really nice and really welcoming, but these neighbors have some ulterior motives where they want to steal the identity of the family and slowly take over. This is a really cool recap because it kind of shows you how the story builds and a lot of complexity with the family that's already going through a rough time, and now the situation gets even more dire. So you definitely, if you're into thrillers, if you're into something that doesn't just go straight into the action, you may want to check it out. So again, this is the 2017 film In Their Skin from Film Recaps, and the link is in the description below. That does it for today. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and get daily recaps from Recap Roundup, where we'll show you the best recaps worth watching. See you later. Bye.